What's up, everybody? As you guys come in the room, welcome to Empower Her Girl Chat. I hope that you guys are ready for this conversation tonight. It's going to be absolutely life changing. As you guys come in the room, and as Facebook is letting you know that we are live, go ahead and click like, share it out. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and share it out, copy the link, send it to a friend, send it to a sister friend. Listen, this month we are talking to women in leadership. And if you are in leadership or if you trying to find your place in leadership, this is going to be the conversation for you. And so you want to make sure that you are joining in, that you're engaging and all the things, and make sure you share it out, right? Share it to a sister friend and let them know that this conversation is about to be really good, right? I'm just going to check and make sure that we are good. But as you guys again come in, go ahead and click like and share. Yes, it looks like we are live. Yes, we did it again. And so I'm excited about this conversation tonight. I got two powerhouse women in the room with us tonight. And so I'm excited about the conversation. You guys know me. I am Kelly Dion Butler. I am your purpose coach, your purpose pusher. I am that one that's going to empower your purpose and your destiny. If you guys have not read my latest book, I don't know what you're waiting for, right? It's time for you to go to Amazon.com and pick up my book called The Power of Her. If you're trying to find your purpose, if you're trying to connect more with your authentic self, that book is going to be a game changer. And guess what? I came out with a workbook at the beginning of this year. So it's all the way intentional about you discovering who you are and finding out your purpose and all of the things. So make sure you tap in and go to Amazon.com, right? All right. I hope that you guys have shared it out by now and that you invited some sister friends to join us for this conversation tonight. Like I said, it's going to be good. We are going to dig into a conversation about a woman's worth, especially in ministry and in the marketplace. Listen, I've gone through that process of trying to figure out who I am, trying to find my purpose, all while operating in ministry, trying to be an entrepreneur and all the things. It has its challenges, but the process of discovering who you are, discovering your worth, discovering your value is so vitally important of you being the force to be reckoned with, the game changer, all of the things, the solution in the earth. It is so important when you know your value, when you know your worth, you show up differently. And so this is going to be a great conversation tonight. And so we're going to go ahead and jump into this conversation. Excited about the ladies that are in the room with me tonight. I have none other than Janelle Montgomery, Pastor Janelle, Coach Janelle. She's in the room. And also Miss Ashley Heron is in the room. First Lady Heron, Pastor Heron, all the things. You guys are going to get to learn some more things about them as they come in the room. Y'all go ahead and come in and say hi to the people. Pastor Janelle, we'll start with you tonight. Go ahead and say hi, introduce yourself, tell them who you are and what you do. You know, all of the tea, right?
Yes. So my name is Janelle Montgomery. I am a wife, a mother. I am a CPA and pastor's wife and accounting professor.
Mhm.
Just so the things. What I love to do is I love to um, like ignite and inspire. And so that is who I am. And I love helping people um, understand that their difference is not something that holds them back, but it's something that can prepare them forward to their destiny.
Wow, I love that. Absolutely love it. Where are you the pastor at? What's did you say that? I don't remember you saying that.
Oh, you're
Where do you
right.
pastor?
Yeah. So Ignite Church Global. Yeah, out in Moore, Oklahoma. Ignite Church Global. And so I co-pastored. I make sure to put that word co-pastor with my husband, Pastor
Right.
Fort Montgomery. So yes, it's amazing. So
Yes, absolutely. Miss Ashley, say hi to us.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm so happy to be here to chat tonight. I think it's going to be a great chat. I am Ashley Heron, and I like to start by saying I am from the great city of Kansas City, Super Bowl champions. Gotta shout out my town. Everybody that knows me knows I love my hometown. But been in Oklahoma for quite some time, so I'm kind of Okie too. You know, it's been almost 20 years, so I gotta rock that too. I am a wife. I am a mother. I am a biblical counselor, coach, mentor, all of those things. I have a ministry called Destined to Win, where I do biblical counseling and coaching. I also co-pastor as well the Remnant Church in Midwest City, Oklahoma, and so that is who I am.
Yes. Awesome. Listen, I'm so honored, number one, to have these powerful women. Y'all have heard what they do. They're out here changing the game, powerful leaders, all of the things. And so what I like to do first is I always like to kind of get little fun facts in. And so just for fun, right? And so I want to know if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? And anybody, either one of you guys could jump in.
Right now, I'm thinking Dubai because I really do want to go to Dubai. But when you say anywhere, I mean it's the world is so big. But I'm gonna leave it at Dubai because that is somewhere where it's on my to do list, my must do list.
Yes, that's one place that I want to go as well. I want to go to Italy too.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
That is a great question. It is the world. Immediate, maybe I would go to Korea. Maybe, see what's
Oh
happening
wow.
there.
Mhm.
I would
Mhm.
definitely um go to yeah, I'll just leave it there. Yeah, yeah. So that's what came to my mind.
Cool. Cool. I love those. What about if you only could eat one meal for the rest of your life? Not meal, but your favorite food. What would it be?
I love seafood, so but if I had to like dial down to one thing, um, let me say one food that I don't want to be without. I love seafood, so if I had a type, I could eat that every day. But one thing that I don't want to go without, and Lord, I'm about to sound real country, but it's about to be chicken, okay? Because I practically
Right.
eat it every day now, okay?
Right. No matter
Okay, we
how
gonna
it, whether it's baked, fried, strips,
yes,
whatever, you're gonna be
you
eating
could
it
have
every
it
day.
so many ways, and so that we could have some variety
Right.
there, right?
I like I like
Yes.
that. I'm finna sound country too, because mine is watermelon.
Listen,
Oh,
we didn't make that whole stereotype on this girl chat in the first
You
5 minutes.
right? I know. I was like chicken and watermelon. Oh my
Oh
god!
Lord,
But those
we
two
have to
foods, though,
that is
come
we'll
on.
survive. I mean,
We would survive. We would definitely survive, and that's what it's about.
awesome. Yes. So last question is I don't know what's happening to my oh there we go. I was trying to figure out what was happening to my screen. Um all right, so who is your most listened to speaker influencer? And I know both of you guys are married to a pastor. It can't be the pastor. We
Okay,
know you
because
guys love
I thought we
them.
were gonna go for yes, but I was thinking of a woman because I thought you were wanting us to lean more towards a woman. So I wasn't even thinking my husband. Lord forgive me.
Really?
Because I thought
Well,
you
that
wanted us
that
to
works too.
pick a woman for women's since we were
Mhm.
appreciating women this month.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
for me, alive or deceased? Is it alive or
Yeah,
deceased or?
either or. Either one is good.
So
Yeah.
probably all time favorite, most inspirational speaker would be Joyce Rogers, just because of the church that I grew up in, and she was one of
Yes.
first women that I actually really got to see actually preaching and living out
Mhm.
ministry in the way that I felt called to ministry. So I
Mhm.
would definitely have to say uh, her. And then my spiritual mom, which is not somebody that is well known, but her wisdom far exceeds so many. And so her name is Evangelist Carolyn Cofield. And so those are probably the two most influential women speakers or inspirational speakers that I have had in my life.
Mhm. I love that. Joyce Rogers is one of my favorites as well. She's the one that really inspired me when it came to women's ministry. And so that's where I honestly fell in love with ministry with teen girls and
Yeah,
also women, period. And so, just like you, she was the one that I looked at as far as me being in ministry, like preaching and teaching and all that stuff too. So, me and Ashley, we come up in the in the same
yeah,
stomping grounds as
yeah,
well too. We come from that Kojic life, right?
yeah,
And so
yeah.
definitely, she was one of those ones that was influential, especially in the Kojic world. So
Yes.
yeah, Miss Janelle.
Ooh, well, someone I've been listening to recently is like most listen to Terry Savelle, Jerry Savelle's daughter.
Mm,
She is she is good. She talks
Okay.
about vision
Mm,
and everything like that. And so I've been kind of listening to her lately. So she's been the one that's on my YouTube lately. So
wow, I'm gonna have to
then
check her out. I can't say I'm
yeah.
familiar, but
yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar with her dad. He would come to our school all the time, so I'm gonna check out his daughter because I really used to enjoy his teaching. So yeah, I'm gonna check her
Yeah,
out.
definitely. Yeah, she's good.
cool. All right, so let's go ahead and dig into this conversation for tonight. So we're talking about woman's worth, right? And so when you think about self-worth for yourself, how would you define that? Like personally, when you think about self-worth, how is it defined for you? And either one of you guys can
I,
jump in.
I would say how self-worth is defined is it's almost like it's inherent. Um like understanding that we're made in the image of God, so we have an inherent self-worth. Like there's nothing that
Mhm.
we need to do to understand that we're worthy. And
Mhm.
a lot of successful people, um, they they understand that they have something of worth, but um, I think what's important is to understand that that it's inherent, like it's in
I
you,
love that.
like you have that self
Mhm.
worth.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
good. That is so good. Because when I think about self worth, of course, I always think about value and sort of
Mhm.
defining it by where are you um getting or where have you established your value from. All right. And so, like you said,
Mhm.
it is inherent. It is about self worth, and value is just about who you are. It's not about what you do. It's not about the role you play,
Right.
but it is the
Mhm.
understanding that it is the essence of you. Worth is really the
Yeah.
essence
Yeah.
of you. It's the essence of who you have been created to be, you know.
Listen,
So I
that's
when I
so
think
good.
about self-worth, it's just about being me.
Yeah. Yeah, and so many people struggle with being them. And so, how do you navigate or how do you um or more so how did you guys uh gravitate towards you and be comfortable in your own skin to know that it's inherent, that this is a part of my essence, that this is who I am? Because we don't just be born. I mean, we're born into it, but it takes a minute for us to grasp the concept of that or the belief of it more so. Because I know for me, I struggled for a long time as a teenager, as a young adult, and even as at my age now, I've struggled with self-worth. If I'm going to be honest, I've struggled with it. And so how did either one of you, how did you grab a hold of knowing that you have self-worth?
So I think that I love what Pastor Jay said, that it's inherent, all right? And so we build upon that, that it's who we are. The issue then becomes how we're assessing it, all right? Realizing that a diamond is valuable even when it is buried or when it's in the dirt, even when it's in the rock. Like it is just as valuable there as it is on the shelf.
Yeah.
And so it really is about how we are assessing it. Am I assessing my value by my circumstance, that I'm still in the dirt and nobody has put me on the shelf yet, right? Am I assessing my value based on how I see other people and what they're doing and maybe what I'm not doing? All right. So it really goes to, I had to in my life really start changing how I assess value. And I had to come to a place where I didn't assess value based on, well, this person can preach like this, I can't preach like that. Or this person can tell a story like this, I can't tell a story like this. Or this person can sing like this, and God knows He did not give me the gift of that gift. Okay. All right. But if I assess those things as more valuable, then I'm diminishing my own value. In a sense, my interpretation of that value. And so you have to change how you're assessing value, and you really have to begin to assess it through the lenses of the one that created you. All right. Like I said, the diamond is valuable whether it is still in the dirt and hasn't been found and they haven't dug it up, or if it's on the shelf. It has the same amount of value. And so the value doesn't come based on the circumstance, based on what you can do, based on who can see you, based on who's discovered you, but it is based on who made you.
Yeah.
The fact that you were created by someone who only makes masterpieces. Right. So to me, it's really about changing how you assess value and self-worth. That's what I would say.
Ooh,
that's
so
good. So good. Listen.
I love it. Assess means to account for, right? So it's to really just like count your like count like not even what makes you valuable, but like what she said. So what's helped me through understanding my value, my self-worth, having that belief is it is by going and getting some help, right? Or understanding that you got to see people like, like you got to see people like coaches or therapists or counselors that can actually help you understand what your worth is and what your value is, and to get your belief up, because there's a lot of blockages that can keep us from understanding what our worth is, because we are basing it on, let's just say if we were in the dirt, based on how people treated us as we're on the dirt, right? Or as we're in the dirt, because the dirt, it gets stepped on, right? There's a lot of things that happen on the dirt. And so the thing is that I just see it as like something you almost have to develop in, and just understanding. So
oh, that's good. Can I chime in, or do we have to go to the next question?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
No, that is so good. I love what you're saying about sometimes it takes you partnering with a counselor or coach or a mentor, okay? Because what happens a lot of times with value, we need somebody to come and see what we are failing to see in us. All right. And sometimes what is the thing that is most valuable? No, we know the entirety of who we are is valuable, okay? But the thing that gives us our value sometimes is the thing that we diminish the most about ourselves. All right. And sometimes when you get that coach, that mentor, that counselor, and they're saying like, that's your superpower. Why are you diminishing that thing? All right. Because for example, right, you may be diminishing the fact that maybe your superpower is that you're a good orator or you're a good speaker,
Mhm.
but you grew up and everybody told you you talk too much. So you start diminishing the thing that really is your superpower. And so the thing
Yeah.
that makes you so valuable, we are thinking is a liability instead of an asset. And so sometimes you got to have that person come, that mentor, that coach, and say, bro, that's your superpower.
That part.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that God has given you to highlight and to fulfill purpose. Don't diminish that. That's the thing that is your shining glory and your value, right? And so I think that's so important what you have said, because
Mhm.
you need those outside eyes and people that can see what we have, what we don't see, because we have diminished about ourselves.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
Man, that's so good. So
mm.
good. Cause I mean, I've been there. I've been in those shoes where I've diminished, what I thought wasn't, valuable or what I thought was important at all. And so, man, I love that. Y'all are dropping some stuff tonight. I love it. If you guys are watching, make sure that you are inviting someone into the conversation, all the things. So make sure you're sharing it out. So let's talk about a story, because one thing about Empower Her Girl Chat is that I love to highlight her story, right? And so her, you guys know, is healed, empowered, revived. And so I would love to hear a time that you had to heal, or even maybe an empowerment moment, or where you had to come alive again in your self-worth. And so any of you guys can jump in.
I'm gonna let Pastor Jay take that one first, but I'm gonna say this for us. We are co-pastors, so we're always healing, trying to be empowered.
Listen,
Is
listen.
that
I'm not
real?
even a co-pastor.
Come on,
That
come on. Listen, every Monday,
You got that right. You got that right.
can we be real on the girl chat? Okay.
right, listen. That's what it's about, real and relevant. Listen, I'm not even a co-pastor. I'm just associate pastor, whatever. But listen, I got to find myself healing every Monday.
Everybody, come
That is funny.
Good. But no, that is so real. And just to
Yeah.
speak on like women in leadership, especially the fact that like we're both like, yes, like we are co-pastors, like we pastor with our husbands. And the thing is that whew, it is very like it's a calling for sure. And it's
Mhm.
very important that you have the concept of understanding what your worth is and allowing the Lord to work in you. There was a quote that I heard someone say was that you really have to have like a real soft heart, but like a skin of an alligator sometimes.
come on that part.
I was like, ooh, that hit, because the thing is that um there are there are just people, and not to say that the enemy uses them, but the thing is it will test you. Listen, it will
Mm,
test you on your beliefs, it will test you in believing that you're enough, it will test you in all types of ways, like whatever way you can be tested. Oh yeah, 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 like being in that calling, in that position will test you at a greater level. And so
yeah.
for me, I think it's very important to number one, like be comfortable in the skin that you're in. So
Yeah.
for me, I remember growing up, like I always saw like my differences and what made me unique as something that wasn't to be celebrated, right? And so,
Right.
like what was mentioned earlier about maybe you did talk too much, or maybe, but there may be things that were features that you can't change about yourself. And for me, it was
Mhm.
about me being biracial. And so the thing is it was like, okay, my mom being Korean, my dad being black, it was just kind of like I never really felt as though I quite fit in. And so I would try to fit in with this group of people or this group of people.
Mhm.
There weren't that many mixed people around. So it was like, okay, well, who do I fit in with? I don't really, like it was hard to really fit in. And it wasn't until I really got a concept of God speaking to me, right? And just letting me know, like, hey, I created you. Like, there's a reason why I created you this way. And so the
Yeah.
thing is I'm just like I'm not like other people. And you have to really be careful not to be in a place of comparison, because the thing is, and Ashley said it, and it goes for me too. Like, I know I don't sing, right? And you see a lot of, this is why they can sing, and I'm just like, hey, that just
Mm.
the Lord just said, hey, you know what? I'm gonna bless your mouth, but I'm gonna bless it for you to speak and not sing, and that is
Yeah.
okay. And the thing is that you have to really be comfortable in that and just say, okay, you know what? God, this is what you called me to do. Like, just because this is
Mm.
the popular thing going, like, you have to understand that um you have to understand that what's going to be important is that you soar like in your strengths. And so just to think about it, what makes Michael Jordan, like, we look at him in awe and makes everybody want to become a basketball player? What makes someone seeing you do what you do? What makes Ashley great at what she does? Like, oh wow, she counsels, because they're using their strengths, right? They're
Yeah.
using their strengths,
Mm.
and they do it with grace and ease, to where other people are like, oh, I think I can do that. But they don't understand that if you don't operate with what you're graced to do, that is it, like, it's
Mhm.
going to be way more difficult. Like, if I saw somebody
Mm.
else who sings just effortlessly and with grace, and I'm like, you know what, I think I want to become a singer, it's going to take a lot more voice lessons, a lot, like, it's going to take a lot, and I still won't even
Mhm.
reach the level, because the thing is that I have to understand what my strength is. And the thing is
Yeah.
that's important, to
Yeah.
understand what your
That's
strength
so
is.
That's
good. No, that is so
yeah. That
so good. Because I think I love what you have said, understanding what your strength is, because a lot of times um, the healing comes because we've been operating outside of our grace, right? And
mm,
so then, because they're like you alluded to, like, you have to have this soft heart, thick skin, but we're able to operate there because we're graced to do it. But
Yeah.
when if we were not
mm,
graced to do it, this thing, it would be a thing that would literally tear us apart. And so a lot of times we're in this need of this extra abundant place of healing and empowerment and restoration and all these sort of things, because we're operating out of our grace to begin with. All right, but that's a whole nother story.
mm.
You just really when you start talking about
Listen.
operating sort of in the thing that you're strengthened to do, that what you're strengthened to do, and what you have what your purpose for, that is so important. But and
Mhm.
for as healing for me on this journey of um being a leader, a woman in leadership, let me say that. I think the healing for me was really having to accept that I was a leader.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm. Yeah.
And I say that because, and I'm not knocking any sort of, I love my foundation. I love the church I was raised in.
Yeah.
But it's no secret that they do not necessarily advocate or build up women for leadership, particularly pastoralship. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, so I was raised in a place where it was ingrained in me that women don't do this. It was all the don't do's that women for women. Like, you
Mm,
don't preach, you speak. All right. You
mm,
Right. You
support your
teach.
husband by
Mhm.
wearing your hat on the side and singing the sermonic solo, right? That's the
Right.
rotation of the
Right.
women that I saw in ministry growing up. And so even as a young teenager, I felt this different call. But I
mm,
felt
Yeah.
like I was in a place of rebellion or sin, because that's not the call my church accepts. All right.
Yeah.
mm,
So it was a journey for me of being healed from that, being healed from,
Yeah.
even when we began the Remnant Church, even though it had been years since I had really been in that sort of place and that sort of
mm,
church, my husband really had to come to me and say, no, you are going to be pastor. And it was almost like, are you sure? Because I don't think I can be that. I have never been allowed to see myself as that.
Right.
All right. So
Wow.
I really had to, so the healing for me, really, my husband really had to help me in that place of healing and in that place of empowerment. He really had to speak that life into me. What God had already placed in me, he had to speak out of me. All right. Because so much other words that were opposite and teaching that was opposite had been built up in me where I could not even see that. All right. So so the healing for me was really having to be healed and delivered in the place of mindset around what I could be. The fact that that is truly God's call for my life. And then when you step into it feeling like you're healing to not feel like you're doing something wrong because it's been taught so long that this is not for you. Does that make sense?
Right.
And so it really was a healing that had to come to my mind, and then my acceptance of who God has called me to be.
That's good.
That's so good because it makes me think about, and Lady J, I may not have ever shared this, but because when I first became the youth pastor, when people started calling me Pastor Kelly, I come, out of the Kojic church as well. When people first started calling me Pastor Kelly, I used to literally cringe on the inside because I didn't think
Cringe.
I could be a pastor.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what? Like, don't call me that. Like, I am not a
Amen.
pastor. I could be a
Same.
missionary. I could be an evangelist, but a pastor, no. It took me a very long time to get used to people calling me Pastor Kelly. And so
Yeah.
that resonated a lot with me. And so I
When
didn't
you
even
say
realize
cringe,
that.
I used to tighten, like my whole body used to get tight. Like,
Listen,
oh my God, don't call
yes.
me that. Like, yes, I get that for real.
I had no idea that I even had to heal from that because I mean, just listening to you talk, like I did have to go through a process of healing because I would cringe, but now it's like it's a normal thing for them to call me pastor. It's like especially if I'm in a church setting and they don't call me pastor, it's like, why would you just call me Kelly like that? But
Yeah.
you think, but it's just odd. So yeah.
And I think that can
I
go for
just
so
thinking
many
about it, it's like
other.
I can't believe I've gotten used to people calling me that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing I think that can roll over to so many different aspects because it's not just the pastor thing. It's really about being able to walk into your authentic self, and a lot of times the
Yeah.
ability to walk into your authentic self means that you have to heal from all of the facades that have been placed upon you, right? So
Right.
that can go for, we're talking about it from the level of pastoralship, but it can happen in so many. Maybe you didn't think that you could get the promotion because people only thought that you were good at this job,
Yeah.
and so
That's so true.
a lot of times in order for us to walk in sort of our authentic self or even just go higher, we have to let go of the facades that people have placed on us, or the faux roles, the faux skills, the faux things, the boxes and the labels that people have given you. You can only be this over here. But what if he called me to be this over there? And so I think that
Right.
that sort of transcends just the pastoral thing. We all have to sort of get to this place where we understand that we have to heal from what the label or the box that people have placed us in, so that we can live out the authentic self or the authenticity that the Father has really designed and created us to live in.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is
That's
so
so good. It
authentic.
it made me go ahead. You got some, Lady J?
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Um, it just made me think about, have y'all ever had, like, because you're talking about titles and positions and things like that. Have y'all ever been so tied to what you're doing, and when that shifted, it's like you lost your identity, you lost your self worth, or you didn't feel like you were valuable anymore? Do you have a time in your life that you've experienced that?
For me, I don't think I have been there yet. Like, I could see how it may happen if my kids get older and start leaving the house. Like, what do you do? Because I'm because even with
Yeah.
this shift of going from like um elementary to this teenager, and they sort of
Right.
need you a little less and less. I can see that. But in terms of like job or career or even pastoring, like I don't see myself as tied to it where my identity is wrapped into it. I
Mm-hmm.
see myself as uh I see myself in a more fuller way. Like I don't feel like
Mm,
it's just wrapped into this one thing. Like it's this, like the pastoring is an important thing, but I am more concerned about being Anthony's wife and Ashton Austin and Dalen's mother. Like,
mhm,
I feel like we are in a good place where we are more balanced. Now, the churches
Mm-hmm.
we grew up in didn't have that much of a balance. We had church and you lived church, okay? But I
yeah.
think we have
Yeah.
more of a balance, which helps us not to just create this sole identity in one thing. For me,
Mm-hmm.
that's my belief in story.
Oh, that is,
Yeah.
yeah, that is definitely good for sure, because it's like I I was trying to think about that. So I'm glad you went first, because I'm like, oh, what identity have I been tied to? But I think that I think what happens a lot is that we do allow a position, a title, something define who we are. And the thing is like, yes, that's a piece of everything that we are, but there's usually something that connects to everything that we do, right? Like there's
Mm-hmm.
something that's common for for all of our titles or positions or anything like that. And so yeah, I would say that times where you may feel like identity or something may be slipping away, I've always had to look to the Father, really. I mean, it was really just through prayer. I mean, just being real. It's just like,
Yeah.
okay, God, like, okay, what's really going on? Because it's just like, okay, this is changing, right? So what's happening here, right? And the thing that we have to understand is that things are transferable. So I
Yeah.
was a janitor, right? I used to clean buildings, helping my mom's cleaning business, and I used to clean office buildings. And so when it came to having a job, as an accountant, it was like, okay, well, I know these don't seem like that they're connected, but I can tell you that I'm very independent. I can get my
Mm-hmm.
work done. There's like different things that those skills and I'm able to take to the next position. And so the thing is like, okay, God, I understand that this is what I was doing, but this is
Yeah.
really just a stepping stone to where he wants to take me. And so the thing is I'm
Yeah.
like, when that position is lost, I have to understand, okay, God, where are you taking me next? And I have to realize that I couldn't just settle, because there has to be new territory, because sometimes we get too used to the familiar.
Come on and
We get
Yeah.
preach.
too used to the
Yeah.
familiar, and it's like, okay, this is my comfort, this is my comfort zone, this is where everything is good and everything's, and it's just like God is saying, I need you over here, because there's some things that I want to develop in you and mold in you,
Come
so
on.
that you can
Yeah.
serve people at a higher level. So figure out how to serve people
Yeah.
at a higher
Yeah.
level. So yeah.
That's good. Come on. That was good. I love this word that you use, transferable, all right?
Mm,
Because it takes me back
Yeah.
sort of to the authentic self. Because what I have
mm,
learned in my life, I have worked some jobs, left some jobs. You know what I'm saying? But I have always,
mm,
even if I'm not doing the same job, like you talk about the janitor, the CPA,
yeah.
being my authentic self, I'm still doing the same thing everywhere I go. What I had to
Yeah.
learn about finding, when we talk about finding purpose and finding your why, what I had to learn for me is, what did you do everywhere you went, just naturally?
Mm,
And naturally,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere I went, whether I was working at the Target in the deli or whether I was working for the state, I was always developing people. I was always
mm,
mentoring
Yeah.
people. I was always
Wow.
coaching people. I was always pastoring people on some level, right? And
mm,
so Those are the things that's transferable. Who you are is going to go with you wherever you go, whether you're in the title of that position. So I tell people all the time, whether I am called the co-pastor of the Remnant Church or if I'm down there working at the Walmart, I promise you I'm still going to be pastoring.
Yeah.
Because it's who I am. And when you have walked into your authentic self, it does not matter what the title is, what the position is, what place you're working in. You do what you do because of who you are. All right. So there is, so it's like, God, you're moving me. I know, like you said, I know you're moving me to develop me, but also because whatever you place in me, you want me to deposit it here too.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is so good. So I got to piggyback on that too. Because you gotta think about it. When the Bible says you're a tree planted by the rivers of water, whose leaves shall not wither, and whatever you do, you shall prosper. And I think about that because a tree may endure different seasons. And guess what? The assignments may change for that tree, right? Because if you go through the seasons where a tree may bloom, right? Or you'll go through a season to where the leaves fall. And so the thing is that you may be going through different seasons, but the trees like planting doesn't change. And so it's very important to understand where our roots are so that when seasons change, we're able to adapt to that season.
That's good.
Yeah.
Say that tagline right there. Planting doesn't change. All right. And if you still rooted, you still know ultimately, no matter what season I'm in, I have the same purpose. And the purpose is to be the tree.
That part.
Come on.
Listen.
I get excited real quick.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Since y'all kind of stepped into like the marketplace more so than ministry now. So how would you encourage a woman that's in the marketplace that maybe be struggling with her self-worth? How does she, show up, especially as an entrepreneur or a leader in corporate America? How does she show up and how does she obtain confidence in walking in or knowing that she's worth every bit of what's before her? What words can you share for that woman?
I think for someone who's in the marketplace, one of the things that's going to be important, and Ashley hit it right on, is being authentic. Really understanding that you being like when people hire you, and I'm talking about in the entrepreneurial realm, when people go for your services, or whenever you get hired on as a job, there's like a deeper purpose and a calling to where they hired you. Because the thing is the skills, it may be the same as someone else, but there's something in you that you're able to contribute to bring value to the marketplace. And the thing is even looking at comparison, like every time I see a Wendy's, there's a McDonald's, there's a Carl's Jr., there's all these places as far as like hamburger spots, right? Like just talking about fast foods, right? But the thing is like there's a reason why someone may be drawn to Wendy's more or KFC or whatever, right? Because the thing is that they have to be true to themselves. Like Wendy doesn't, I mean, sometimes they made it, but Wendy doesn't look at Carl's Jr. and be like, ooh, let me do the nacho Dorito something burger. They may, I don't know. But the thing is that it's very important to understand that you have something to bring. And I remember when a prophet that came to our church one time, and he said these words to me, and I just have not forgotten them. He was just basically like, people, like I said, I won't forget the words, but here I am forgetting the words. But basically, people will see you how you see yourself. Basically,
that's so good.
Yeah, people will see you how you see yourself. So I had to really just look at myself differently. And so the thing is that when you have something of value, like know that you have something of value. So what's a word of encouragement? Hey, just go out there, be bold, just try once. Like it's almost like you want you it's like whenever like you want to kind of tiptoe in, but it's like you might as well just go in, might as well just jump in head first. So yeah,
Yeah.
and see where it takes you.
That's good.
Yeah.
No, that is so good. I would say to marketplace individuals, entrepreneurs, is tap into your superpower. I love what Pastor Jay is saying. Okay, we drive down the street and see 18 different burger places, right? They all
Right.
got their own market and their own market share and their own customers, okay? Because some people gonna
Mhm.
pass five of them to make it to the McDonald's, and people gonna pass the McDonald's to make it to the Wendy's because that's their taste and that's their preference. All right. So tap into
Yeah.
your superpower. Don't compare whatever your idea, whatever your craft is, whatever your business is to somebody else. Y'all may be making the same thing, but I'm telling you, it's not going to be the same because you guys have a different authentic ability to create that thing. All right. So tap
Mm-hmm.
into your superpower. Number one, understand what that is. Understand what your differences are. Too
Mhm.
many times we focus on what makes us similar. Tap into the
Yeah.
thing that makes you different. All right. Sometimes
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
want to just be the same, but it's your differences that are going to grow your business. It's your differences that are going to grow you. Okay. What makes you
Yeah.
different? What sets you apart from everybody else? And then
Yeah.
for the entrepreneur, especially, endure the seasons, right? We just
Mm-hmm.
talked about the tree being planted. And if you are
Mhm.
called to entrepreneurship in marketplace, you're going to have to plant yourself in what you believe God called you to do and endure the seasons, right? Because you're going to have seasons where you're a tree full of leaves,
Mhm.
prosperity, and you're going to have some droughts. But you got to
Yeah.
be so planted in the fact that you were called to do that, that you can endure the seasons.
Mhm.
Okay. So that is very important for marketplace entrepreneurship. And I'm also going to add this on there. Get you a coach. Get you a counselor.
Yes.
Get you somebody when you are in a place where you are down and out, the money ain't coming in like it was coming in, and trying to wonder if this bill's gonna be paid. Get you somebody that's gonna say, girl, we ain't giving up. We ain't giving up now.
Yes.
You gotta get somebody that can
Yeah.
see you, that can speak into you. That is not something to go into without a good support system, team,
Yeah.
person. So I would say definitely get that. And I want to say one more thing about being in the marketplace in general, because a lot of times, too many times, we like to make this separation. Like, I do these things in church and then I do this in the marketplace. But I
Yeah.
am one of those people that believe in whatever God gifted you. All right.
Yeah.
If you are a evangelist, if you are a prophet, if you are an apostle, if you are a pastor, all of those things transcend into the marketplace. All right. So,
Yeah.
prophet, you shouldn't just have a word about church stuff. You should be able to forecast what's going on in that business.
That part.
Okay.
Listen.
Use Use your grace, use your
Mhm.
gift, use what
Yeah.
God has given you, because He didn't just give it to you for the four walls of the church. He
Yeah.
gave it to you so
Yeah.
you can walk in dominion in every place, in every setting. So when
Yeah.
everybody
That's
else
so
in that
good.
company is saying, "Oh, all of our profit is gonna fail this," and you say, "No, I see something else." And how do you
Mhm.
see
Yeah.
that? You may not be able to tell me you see it in the spirit, but tell me you see it, and just bank on
Yeah.
the fact
Yeah.
that I see it. All right, you
Yeah.
just gotta use. We compartmentalize so much,
Hmm.
but being authentic is mean I'm being my full self in
Yeah.
my church, in my family, and in the marketplace. I'm being everything that God called me to be everywhere that I go.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying
Yeah.
about that. I
But
yield.
some people they do struggle, like especially like women in ministry or really anybody in ministry. A lot of times you can be in ministry and leadership and all that stuff, and you're too afraid to take what you do outside, because even in the church that we came up in, that wasn't taught all the time. Like, you can go out and have your own ministry. You had to stay within, under them and do it. But they teach that more so now, that you could go out and start your business and do all that stuff. But a lot of people, a lot of women, they're afraid or not. I know even for myself, for a long time, I thought all I could do was church.
Yeah.
That was it. Like, I thought that I was only great at that. Like, I struggled in the working field, like in
Yeah.
the corporate world. I struggled there. And so there are women out there that struggle. Like, all I know is ministry. That's all I feel like I can do. But just hearing you say that everything about who you are goes everywhere. Like, you could take that anywhere. But some women don't know that. Some women
Yeah.
don't have the courage to step out and do that and feel comfortable in doing that. Like, some people have books and all these different things on the inside of them, but they're too afraid to step out. And so just a little bit more encouragement. How can they fully, like, go from that place to that place? What are some things that they can do?
I would say it's really a matter of just being who you are. I think it is intimidating when we make it a thing. Like, I gotta be this thing.
Yeah.
Like, but it really
Right. Yeah.
is just being who you are everywhere you go.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
if you're a great speaker, I was always a good speaker, but I wasn't just a good speaker at church. I was a good speaker when I had to give speeches at school. And now I do think that the church prepared me for a lot of things that I had to do outside. But I never went into my school and said, "Oh, I can't give a speech here because this is only reserved for church." We just have to
Right.
be who we are everywhere we go. Like, if you're good at counting money, you don't just have to count the Sunday school offering. Go become a CPA. Go become
Right.
a CFO. We have to
Right.
live a balanced life, right? And knowing that
Mhm.
um, we are kingdom citizens. Okay, we're
Yeah.
not just church members. We are kingdom
Right.
citizens, and we are
That's so
advancing
good.
the kingdom of God. You can't we can't advance the kingdom of God in the four doors because we all citizens. We advance the kingdom outside the four walls, right? Because we're
Yeah.
trying to increase
Yeah.
his territory. And we do that
Right.
through being all that he created us to be, authentically who we are everywhere we go. How do I advance the
Yeah.
kingdom when I'm working the drive-through at at the McDonald's? All right, if
Mhm.
your gifting is administration or order, and they should say, oh, when so and so is working, all of them orders are lined up and they going out like clockwork because that's your gifting,
That part.
administration,
Yeah.
order. All right,
Yeah.
you can use whatever God has given you everywhere you go. You have to stop making it like this thing. I gotta walk in, or I
Mm,
gotta just be you. Because the
mm,
gifting
Yeah.
is natural to who you are. And the more you function out of who you are, the more you really are functioning out of who he is.
mm,
Wow. Yeah.
mm.
That's so good.
That's good. I think about how the church is a great place to have some gifts that awaken, like whenever you've done speeches and different things like that. But I really do believe that in order to really dominate out in the marketplace, that you really just got to take the limits off and just know whenever God
Oh,
is wanting to
say that.
expand your capacity just beyond the
Yeah.
four walls, like you really just got to step into it and just know that if it works like within the four walls, it's going to work in the marketplace, because the thing is that the marketplace needs what we have to offer. So God is
Yeah.
saying, hey, wait a minute, let me enlarge your territory. So yes, you've been faithful over a few, but here's a few more, right? Here's some more that you can
Right. Yeah.
um steward over. And so the thing is a person that may feel like this is the only place where I may be valued. Um, ask God, like you planted me in these gifts. Where else do you want me to take my talents to, my gifts to? Because the thing is a lot of things are able to be transferred, and a lot of things like God will open your eyes and show you like how to enter into different levels of influence. So the thing is that you have influence, but you really got to lean into where God's graced you and your strengths so that he can take you and propel you to wherever he's wanting to take you. So
Come on, that's so
Yeah.
good. And Jesus really demonstrates this for us, okay? Because if all he
mm,
wanted us to do was be in the temple, giving everything we got, he would never took up carpentry,
yep.
All right.
okay? But he said, "I'm gonna build some things in the spirit and the natural," okay?
Hmm.
Right. That's so good. Listen, I have absolutely loved this conversation tonight. Y'all have literally dropped some gems, and I think women in ministry and the marketplace they should be able to take some from this and go win, right? And so I'm excited. If you guys are not following me, please make sure that you do. Make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. This live will stay up probably the rest of the night, but it will disappear. So if you want to be able to share it with someone, go and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Kelly Dion Butler. And yeah, Miss Ashley, how can they connect with you?
All right, you can always find me on Facebook. Destined to Win is my Destined to Win LLC is my Facebook name, or you just find me at Ashley Heron. You can always go to the Remnant Church website at www.theremnantchurch.tv, and those are some ways that you can get in touch with me.
Yes. All right, Miss Janelle, how can they
Yes.
connect with
So
you?
you can connect with me on Instagram, Coach Janelle CPA. Also, you can connect with me on Facebook as well too, Janelle Montgomery. And if you want to come visit, we start on Sundays at 10. Ignite Church Global. Come through if you want to come
Yes.
through. Also, we are live on Facebook as well too, and so Remnant Churches too. So you might as well just watch both of us. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Come on, we on there. Come on, check us out.
Well, awesome. Thank y'all again so much for being a part of Empower Her Girl Chat. It's always a pleasure. You guys have been a part of my journey for a very long time. Y'all have been a part of Empower Her Conference, all of the things. And you guys know I'll be calling you for something. And so thank
Come
you
on.
again. I hope that you guys have an amazing night. I'm going to ask Ashley if you would pray for the woman that's in search of her worth and close us out in that.
All right, Father, in the name of Jesus, God, we just thank you for this time, this chat, this empowering chat, Father. And we just pray right now, God, for every woman that is trying to find her place, trying to find her place of authenticity, trying to find her place of purpose. Father, we thank you that she is led by your spirit, that she's not being led by her own desire or what other people are wanting her to do, but she is led solely by your spirit. I pray, Father, that you will reveal yourself to her the more, Father, that you would highlight, God, and shine a light on the things that you have placed inside of her, Father, that you have gifted her with, and how those things, God, are a valuable part of who she is, God. I just thank you right now that you are a light on our path, God. You give us, God, what we need. You lead us to all truth, all righteousness, Father. And so I thank you that she would find herself in you today, that she would be healed from every place, God, where she has compared herself to others, that she would be empowered by your spirit, and that she would be revived and restored and renewed in this season. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Well, you guys have an amazing night. Join me next week where I get to talk to two more powerhouse women about a woman's worth. So, see you guys later. Have an amazing night.